specifically looked inside of the post to Porzingis and Tatum. They needed this blowout. This is their toughest stretch of the year coming up. 5 games in 7 nights and travel. Blowout wins haven't happened for this team. They needed a get-right game, and the Orlando Magic were the get-right team tonight. Did it solve all their problems tonight, Joe Mazzulla? No. I think tomorrow night will dictate what you take away from tonight. But does it carry over? That's the question. They were looking for some sort of rhythm. They dominated tonight. But did they shoot less threes? Now, I think that's going to be something that's going to be talked about. People are going to see the threes. A big bounce-back performance, and I thought Jason Tatum was absolutely outstanding tonight. So feel free to call in. 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube, everybody.
Pardon the technical difficulty.
No, we're back, bro. George, any takeaway for you tonight? I mean, we were talking about the scaled-back threes. If they shoot 50%, no one's going to beat them.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the math today, it was 37%. Well, 37 threes, which is down from their token 50. I would say when the Magic, I have it written down here, when they shoot 5 for 32 and you make 17 threes, that's a plus 36 in my books.
George takes notes, everybody. He does his job. He's well prepared. Skaz is out tonight. He's got paperwork. He gave me notes. We're here till 11 o'clock. We'll talk about it. But was tonight championship form? I'm not. I hope people don't think I'm green teaming when I say that.
I would excuse this game just because I liked Jalen Suggs, the way he played.
He was out. He missed. They were without 4 rotation guys.
Yeah. And Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, those are big losses for the Magic. So,
so not yet.
Great bounce back for Tatum, but hard to glean anything from an underhanded.
Do we credit the Celtics at all for how crappy they've been defensively? Was it the Magic's fault they shot 5 of 32 for 15% from 3, or was it the Celtics?
Nice. From what I could see, it looks like there was good effort from the Celtics, but also Orlando couldn't get out of cold, frosty New England.
Fast enough, yeah.
Right. It's tropical for us New Englanders over here, but I'm not sure they're used to it. This was a road trip that they could do without.
It's going to be cold over the next couple of days, everybody.
Bundle up.
But they snapped out of it. Less threes, right? Going to the free throw line. How about that one? I kind of like that. Porzingis. I think the Celtics, we talked about this off the air. They're super talented. Do they have to shoot threes? No. Does it show that it works? Yes, it does. It shows. The math works. But when they struggled, they were more efficient. And this is something about the team, the way they constructed. I think Jason Tatum could be a tremendous post player if you wanted him to be. And the thing is, he might get the ball in the post, but he can still square up and take you one-on-one. But when it's Porzingis and Tatum, now they can play the two-man game, or Brown can be the guy with the ball trying to look for them, or trying to look for them on cuts, etc. Hauser, I think, kind of took advantage of that tonight a little bit during his rotation minutes.
When I look at the stat sheet to interject, I would say I did like the Celtic style of basketball. It was more efficient to your point. 25 assists out of 42 field goals made. That's more I like it for the style of Celtics basketball.
So that's another thing. The assists have not been there. And were they less selfish tonight? See, I don't think they're a selfish team. I don't. I think it's maybe one of their problems. Sometimes they need to be a little bit. Sometimes they need to pass a little less. But the assists have been down. No doubt about that one. I wanted to look that up actually real quick because we know that Orlando didn't have their full squad tonight, so there's gonna be people out there who say that they needed a get right game. This was the get right game. So the Magic had 16. You're right. Boston had 25 assists tonight, led by who?
Jaylen Brown with 6.
There you go. Do you think he responds? Do you see how many free throws Jaylen Brown had tonight?
I know 9. 9 for 9, though, too. I don't know how many of those were in the fourth quarter. This couldn't be too many.
I swear they sat down. They sat down in the meeting. Not like a team meeting. I think they looked at it and said, hey, you're not getting to the line enough. But they go tonight. 20 of 22.
I know that's a good look.
If they can get to the line 20 times a game and shoot, let's just say, can they shoot 35% from three? I don't think they can be beat.
It's hard when the Celtics are putting the gas pedal down all the way. It's tough to see a team that matches up. But it looks like OKC and Cleveland are kind of the class of the NBA this year with the Celtics. As long as the Celtics play motivated, they are definitely a tough out and the favorites to repeat, I would say.
The Celtics have struggled with transition guards. Tonight, Cole Anthony had a nice night. 23 points. He was 9 for 15 from the field. So they did have a guard still score in transition and get to the basketball. They've struggled against those type of guards. Let's see what happens tomorrow night, right? And I wanted to look at Atlanta for a minute here while we were talking about this, but when I look at Atlanta, so they're dealing with some injuries as well. And so let's see. Yes, Chase. I wonder if Trae Young's playing. I'll have to look into this one a little bit. Game time decision. So if he's out, I mean, they could go on a little stretch here where they get some guys without, looking at the schedule here just to go over it, okay? Because this is it's a tough spot. They get the next couple of games. They'll have Atlanta. Sorry, I'm looking at Atlanta's schedule.
I was going to make a point on Atlanta, looking at their schedule though, with the postponement, with their with the
snow
Rockets,
the other night.
right?
Yeah.
They've only played a couple games the past week. They've been waiting since Wednesday, so
they're rusty.
Yeah, they're over here in Boston and listening to us. Yeah, it might be a little rusty for tomorrow, but they might be.
What's up,
making
Richard Shea? What's the guy's name? The number one overall pick.
Whatever his first name is, I know. I will have to look at that.
So the Celtics have Atlanta, Monday, Golden State, LA. They go on that big LA trip. Here we go. The rematch against Dallas. This is going to be a week. This is going to be a week. Porzingis tonight. I think, although we'll say Jason Tatum was the player of the game, I loved what Porzingis did. Talked the other night, vocal, comes back tonight. I don't ever really thought of him as a leader. I never really thought of Porzingis as the rah-rah guy. He had some issues, right? And well, I shouldn't say issues, but
in Dallas, in particular.
Him and Luka, I from what I hear is that it was more on the court than anything. Like it wasn't, they didn't really have issues like outs, like at practice or, it was mostly during games. And it is hard to play with someone who gets hurt often, right? There's no chemistry. You kind of resent them at times. They can't get out there. Like, is it about your contract? Like, what is it? So I was a little curious the other night when Porzingis talked about the team and said they're all high character guys, but at the same time, they didn't show effort. Tonight he did. So I think getting to the line was one of the big stories tonight. They took less threes and they assisted the basketball better. Your thoughts? 617-779-0985. You're going to have to pot them up for me here, George. But we have good old Justin and Lynn. How you doing, Justin?
Hey, Joe. I have a thought on tonight's game. I thought that was the most complete game that they played in a while, Joe. And, defensively, I thought they were very well prepared. Offensively, I thought they were prepared very well. And it just was a complete effort tonight. And I want to see them continue that stretch.
All right, Justin. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
This might have been the best game of 2025 for them, I would say. People in our chat tonight, what I learned tonight is when Celtics actually care, they will beat the crap out of you. Thank you, Brother Bluto. That's what I've been saying all year. All year long. So I agree. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. If you want to continue the Celtics conversation, we will. There's a bunch of Patriots news that just came out. Whoa. And, George had some numbers I wanted to bring up regarding three-point shots. So we'll do all that. We're here until 11 o'clock. You coming home from the game? You want to talk about it? 617-779-0985. And some big football games this weekend and a national championship on Monday night. You want to talk about those games? We are here, George with a J. That's what I call him, George. Well, I don't want to call you George with a J, but I just want to make sure that it's people know.
That's right. At Georgie Sepulveda on Twitter and X with a J.
I feel like you need that on your car. Like have your handle just on your car.
My boy's the third. He will have to go through this one.
He's George. I'm Joe. You listen to the 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Zone.
Before we let you go, you and Al both played tonight, which is unusual on the front end of the back-to-back. Was there discussion before this game about the two of you, both of you, or neither of you playing tomorrow?
I don't know if I can tell you the inside.
I try to sneak it in at the end.
But we'll see. We'll see. The minutes, I think, were pretty low. And we'll see what's the plan. You know, this is a little bit out of my hands, but let's see. Let's hope for the best.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. George is here with a J. Playing the hits. All right, so I had this CD. I believe his name was Ahmad.
You are correct.
And it was on the Wood soundtrack, if you remember the movie The Wood.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody in our chat remembers that. Maybe Riz is in there. I see him. What's up, Brokerage Babe? 420. Dave. There's a guy in chat who goes, "Hey, Joe, please eat a salad," but I know that he doesn't listen because he would know not to say that to me. Not because of my appearance, which is the lowest form of communication when someone just has to talk about your appearance instead of, just having a back and forth sports take with you. They got to go at you for your appearance. That's like the lowest of low. But he would know better about my salad takes, I think. He would know. Speaking of takes, how about Kristaps Porzingis? Couldn't tell you if he's going to play tomorrow night or not. I'm going to say that Horford doesn't play, Porzingis does. And then they take time off, and they're both there for the Warriors game. I'm down with that.
I actually second that. I know Porzingis he's probably itching at the bit, but you need to protect him at all costs. I don't like playing Porzingis on back-to-backs. I think Horford can man up and do it.
Okay. 617-779-0985. That's the phone number if you want to jump aboard. George, you gave some numbers regarding three-pointers all time.
Yeah, speaking of back in the day, right? All right, so let me get my sheet here.
And I'll set it up for you because George gave me a sheet. The Boston Celtics have attempted the most three-pointers per game by a team in a season with 49.3. There are other teams that have done so.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah, they're on pace to set the record for three-point attempts. It seems to be a stat that is newish. All these teams ranking in the top 10 are within the past decade. The latest I see here, going back to the Rockets, 2018, but the James Harden and Chris Paul led Houston Rockets team, of yesteryear, last decade, they cracked the top 10 three separate times, including holding the current record at 45.3 in their 2018-2019 season. Well, if we go down this list and go exercise-wise, let's just go with the current holder as the Rockets at 45 threes a game. They finished third place in the West, 53-29 record. How did their season end?
Well, I believe if you give me all these teams, Rockets, Bulls, Warriors that year lost. Jazz, they were number one seed, lost, right?
Correct.
Celtics that year lost. Rockets lost. Warriors
they lost.
Yeah,
in the second round.
So there's only one team on this list that has won a championship. Who is it?
One team in the top 10 currently. The outlier would be last season's Boston Celtics, currently ranked in 8th if we include the Celtics of this season and stats for this year, which the Bulls rank currently 4th. Is this who we want to emulate? I would say the Celtics are the outlier. Granted, it's the same roster that had proved that this could potentially work. I just think that it's scary because we talked about the quality of three-pointers and we could see, I don't think 50 is the number. I think 50 is a little outrageous. I do like 37 as a sweet spot. I don't have a problem with them attempting 50 a game as long as it was in the flow of the offense, halfway assists, less off the isolation.
So your take is that less threes is better? Or it's only happened once with this volume.
Yeah, I would say that just because the maths with 3-point attempts with 3-pointer being valued higher than a 2-point shot, and the mid-range game being completely devalued, I don't think that that's the way to approach this game. I think it's a copycat league. That's why we see these statistics, going up on a year-to-year basis, and pretty much the last decade, it's overinflated. I would say that it's more about the quality of shots. Being on this list, it doesn't guarantee success. Obviously, the Celtics being the outlier of last year. But the Celtics also, in their first year under Mazzulla, they currently ranked 7th in the 22-23 season. They shot 42.6 threes a game, which etches out last year by 0.1. But as we know, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games to the Heat.
So George did research. His research shows teams with this amount of volume through, well, this is just 40 games.
Yeah, and obviously with 37 today, that 49.3 is going to come down a hair. But I just like the quality of shots today. They were coming off of assists. I was telling you my gripe is, anybody dribbling the ball past half court, and not passing the ball, everybody playing ring around the rosy, or them just chucking up that shot without any pass. That's just, to me, a big no-no. I like it in the flow of the offense, people cutting to the basket, maybe a dribble drive, kick out, at least coming from an assist or looking like it's in the flow of the offense, having that open shot rather than creating the open shot, isolation style, or 30-foot threes, which I can't stand.
All right, he's George with the statistics. He did this by hand, by the way. By hand. He wrote down all their records. Where they lost, where they finished. Speaking of where the Celtics are at, they finished the year. This is officially the halfway point of the year. 41 games in. 41 games in. The Celtics are 29-12. Where were they last year? 31-9. So they're 2 games off. Look at the way that they've played, and they're 2 games off their pace. Woo! It's scary.
I do think that they can flip the switch. It's tough because we've seen them play like entitled pissants before. So, I hope it's not trending in that direction. But obviously when they play motivated, it looks good. Considering that they're coming off the championship, we do have to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they can flip the switch. So my level of concern isn't too high, but it is willing to change. I mean, it goes with the threes, I tell you. The more that they shoot them, I don't know if we're winning those games.
Threes everywhere. Threes everywhere. Threes everywhere. Threes everywhere. I won't get into it, George. We won't do that one. We won't do that song tonight. Plenty going on in the Boston sports world. We'll get into the Patriots stuff, the Red Sox. And we'll tell you, actually, I'll tell you right now what's going on in the sports world. And the Patriots have interviewed offensive coordinators. Any thoughts on the Celtics? Feel free to call in on it. But there's Patriot stuff. There's a bunch of other stuff going on. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics 121-94 victors tonight. Jason Tatum led the way. Porzingis and Jaylen Brown. Everybody had 20 points, the 3 of those guys. It's a big 3. That's why they call them that. They're in Atlanta tomorrow night. Also, Patriots have removed literally the staff. Tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, coaches, they're all gone. Also, Robin Glazier is gone. She's going to resign her role with the Patriots. They also moved on from Director of Skill Development, Joe Chin. Red Sox, they agreed on a 1-year contract to avoid arbitration with Jaron Duran and Roki Sasaki, one of the free agents. Was linked to go to Toronto, but he ends up going to the Dodgers. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray, and that's it for me tonight.
You're listening to Joe Murray.
quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray here until 11 o'clock. Feel free to chime in. You coming home from the game tonight? You want to talk about the Celtics? We'll get into the Patriots in just a minute here. I do want to take this call, though, George. We have Jeff. He's in Winthrop. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, man, so it's Jeff here. I was just thinking, we were only a couple of games record-wise worse than we were last year, and people are panicking about that, but we've lost a lot of games that clearly could have won. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's the grit factor, but people are overreacting. You know what I mean? We're not that far behind. And then one of my main things I've been harping on recently is at the beginning of the year and in the offseason, everybody wanted Kristaps to sit. So, during majority of the regular season, so he'd be fresh, right? But then, right before he came back, people started complaining and being upset that he wasn't playing enough games and blaming that on us not having as good of a record. But what does he do? He comes back and he's playing fine. He's looking fresh. So I have no issue with that at all. But I also feel like we should be playing, and I'm on a tangent now, but I feel like we should be giving Katus more minutes.
Ooh.
Like the G League MVP. You know what I mean? He's a guy that bigs have been doing damage against us, especially before KP came back. I feel like Katus, with a couple more minutes, we should be just developing him more.
I'm sorry,
and
Kata?
Someone a lot of that.
Did you say Kata?
Yeah, Neemias Katus.
Okay, so how do you get Kata and Porzingis on the court at the same time?
Hold on, I'm going to turn you up. No, so not at the same time. I'm saying before Porzingis came back.
No, I hear what you're saying. But do you get what I'm saying? It contradicts itself. You want Porzingis to play, but you want more minutes for Kata. But wouldn't Kata play Porzingis' minutes?
I wanted more minutes out of Kata before Porzingis came back.
So you think less minutes for Porzingis, more for Kata?
No. So before Porzingis came back, I don't think...
Wait, just real quick. Let's take a deep breath.
Yeah.
You hear what you're saying, right?
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
I am not misunderstanding. You want... Porzingis is playing now, and he's playing well.
Yeah.
But you want more minutes from Kata.
No, not anymore. When Porzingis was out, I think we should have been giving more to Kata because bigs were feasting on us while he was out.
Didn't he play a lot?
I feel like he definitely wasn't getting enough minutes that I thought he should have been getting.
I think he was getting beat in the paint constantly.
Well, I do think we should be developing him more, but
there it is. Sorry, man. I was just trying to make sense of that. And Jeff, just remember, you got to turn your radio down. When I couldn't understand who he was talking. He was saying Neemias, but I didn't know that's what he. I was like, who?
Yeah, maybe just at the expense of Cornette or one of the first bigs off the bench. But I like Neemias, but yeah, I understand what you're saying, right? Where is he going to play? You want Porzingis to play? They can't play him at the same time.
And then he was upset that Kata didn't play enough. But when I saw him out there, he can help out offensively.
Yeah, it was garbage.
But there are some defensive play. I mean, they give up the most paints in the league. Paint points in the league.
Yes.
And I think Kata was a part of that without Porzingis. Anyways, I'm just trying to make sense of it there. Yeah, by the way, Brokerage Babe says, you would think people who've called into a radio station before know to turn the radio down. I never tell people to do that, but it happened tonight. The Patriots have eliminated the coaching staff that was Gerard Mayo. This is the anniversary of Gerard Mayo's press conference being introduced as the new head coach of the New England Patriots. And wow, what has happened in a year? They're 4-13, and everybody's gone. Tight ends coach, wide receivers coach, the other wide receivers coach, and the other wide receivers coach, and then the director of skill development. And now Robin Glazier resigns as EVP of the Patriots. So everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Everybody. And I wonder, is this a Kraft move? Was this like a Vrabel like negotiation type thing? But I actually, the Robin Glazier thing, I only really bring it up because Bill Belichick did. And I don't know anyone who signed a contract. She was in the room. She was also on that documentary as the Hammer. She's resigned. I don't know the story, the details. I don't know. But I just want to bring this up one more time because I don't want to sweep it under the rug like everything else has been swept.
Robin Glazier.
Oh, no, it would be great that ha by Bill. Because Bill says it all the time, right? Whenever he talks about it, he says it's Robert Kraft, Jonathan Kraft, Robin Glazier. Those are the three names when he talks about who's in charge of the New England Patriots. I only know it because of Bill. I wouldn't know who Robin Glazier was if it wasn't talked about by Bill Belichick. Or every single deal that they do, she's in the room. So, quite frankly, for me, I'm only bringing it up because an 83-year-old man, Robert Kraft, the succession plan after Tom Brady and Bill Belichick was Robin Glazier and Gerard Mayo, and they're both gone within a year, or at least a year from today. They're out. The rest of the staff, out. Now, I don't know what Alex Van Pelt's deal is. It sounds like he could stick around. That was the succession plan, and I'm not letting that one go. And to just sit here and say Mike Vrabel's handling everything and it's going to be great again, I still have my doubts. And you know what I say? Suspect.
I know. I just hope that she wasn't influenced. Obviously, it all the misreporting on that. I think it might have influenced the decision. Sadly, that's not how you want these things to kind of come down. But that's my own 2 cents on it. I feel like she was hearing the outside noise. When it came to it, I don't know if Brewski was. He didn't mention anybody specifically. I took it as more like a blanket, generic statement of upper management as to who doesn't know what they're doing and Vrabel Cleaning House. I wish her the best, but it didn't sound like football was head of her forte, and what she was bringing to the table, albeit she was the one sitting in on these contracts and these negotiations. So I wish her well.
I wonder if it was a part of the gig. Was it a part of... if he takes, my whole thing is like, I don't know what she did right or wrong, so I don't want to say it's a good move. She's gone because I really don't know. I don't know. All I can tell you is the decisions that Robert Kraft has made about running his football organization, they haven't been great. And to just sit here and think that Mike Vrabel's is still suspect to me. Hey, it feels right, doesn't it? Comfortable guy, know who he is. Wiping out the staff? Maybe. On the other side here, George, let's do some picks. How about that?
Let's do it.
Well, I don't know. Should we do Joe Me the Money? Do you see Joe? You know what? If you see it in the system, let me know if you see a Joe Me the Money as we wrap up the show here, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub. And get you through the midday, Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Spot for a Glock. I took a long overflow, but still got a
Money! Jerry, does that make you feel good just to say that? Say it with me one time, Jerry.
Show you the money.
Oh, no, you can do better than that, Jerry. I want you to say it what you would mean it, brother. Hey, I got Bob Sugar on the other line. I better hear you say it.
No. Show you the money.
Not show you. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah.
Who just got
Louder.
Show me the money.
That's it, brother, but you got to yell at me.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
Now, here's where it gets a little interesting, everybody. The Rams are my Super Bowl pick to go in the NFC. I have bet the Eagles to make it to the NFC Championship game. I'm torn right now. But I'll say this. The number is 6. The total's 43.5. The number one thing to look at here is the Rams. With Sean McVay, that's the advantage in this one. Not to mention, Matt Stafford has won a Super Bowl. But you have to look at it as Stafford has only played indoors or in L.A. and has to go to cold-ass Philadelphia this weekend. I think the Rams hang around. I think the Eagles win the game. Although I have the Rams to win to go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to take Rams cover plus 6. Eagles win the game.
Way to half-ass that one. Riding the fence.
Right. Hey, listen,
I'm a fence sitter myself.
And finally, this is the big one, Ravens, Bills. I told you guys earlier today, I think the most pressure is on Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. He's the 2-time MVP. If you take Joe Burrow out of it, these two quarterbacks right here, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, have yet to go to a Super Bowl. The only thing in their way will be Kansas City, and themselves, by the way. I like Baltimore minus the 1.5. That's my biggest play of the weekend. Buffalo's an underdog. Buffalo's at home. Josh Allen's probably going to get the MVP this year. Can they stop the run? Derrick Henry ran for 1,900 yards this year. It's going to be cold, as I mentioned.
Do you want to tackle that guy?
I want to tackle Lamar Jackson as well.
Yeah.
And again, Josh Allen, does he going to get the support? This is why I don't think Buffalo's going to win. They lost Stephon Diggs, but things have been good. Now their wide receivers are going to go up against a really good defense.
They might even get snow. How beautiful would that look?
I think the Bills are a great story, and I think Josh Allen should be the MVP of the league this year.
I agree. Based off of them taking away Diggs and me, I actually expected a downer year for him. He proved me wrong.
Me too. I love the Ravens. And I again, at the beginning of the year, and it's on the Over Under podcast, which drops in a little while tonight, I picked Ravens, Rams beginning of the year as my Super Bowl. I'm not going off that, but if I had to give you my prediction right now, it's hard for me not to think Eagles, Ravens.
I'd say the ground game wise, I think Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry can lead their respective teams.
And what was your take earlier today?
Right. Running backs are back.
There you go.
That's right. Suck it, folks.
See, George? Things have gotten full circle here on tonight. So, there you go. Oh, George, the Monday night is the national championship game.
Well, what a weekend for football.
Ohio State's a great team. I don't know what it is. Right now, I lean Notre Dame, but I need some more time.
I lean Notre Dame, but I love the colors. I love the uniforms.
There's now a uniform talk. Hey, by the way, George, before I let you go, I have a thought on who wins the Royal Rumble this year. I have two names. Who wins the Royal Rumble this year?
I'm leaning CM Punk.
Oh, wow.
Even though I think that this is going to be one of the bigger Royal Rumbles, considering, there's a lot of good good competitors. The Seth Rollins, I think they might be an angle where they stay outside, so maybe they don't have to fight for the title. CM Punk or Drew McIntyre, those are my guys.
Mine are John Cena or Randy Orton.
Those are good ones. I could see Cena winning.
I go Cena versus Gunther. It puts Gunther over long term.
Correct.
If it's Randy Orton versus Cody, mentor versus champion, right?
Money matchups. Yeah, they're in a good spot to capitalize on a lot of fantasy matchups, a lot of matchups that we want to see.
And it's probably the last year you can use like a vet as the winner, right? Because they're usually putting over young talent. So anyways, that's our wrestling talk. Somebody said Dominic Mysterio. Oh, there'd be some heat.
For the Backlash at Mexico, him against Penta. That would be lovely.
In on that. All right, we got to get out of here, guys. Enjoy the weekend. Just to give you a note, Monday's a holiday. I'll be here after the Bruins game, during the Celtics game, Celtics-Warriors, and then I'll be here till 9 o'clock that night. Kendra Middleton will join me. So that should be fun. For George Sepulveda. Did I say it right?
Yes, at Georgie Sepulveda.
There you go. I'm Joe Murray. Enjoy the weekend. Stay warm, everybody, and I will talk to you on Monday. Don't forget a special Felger and Maz Monday morning, 6 a.m., and then I'll have you the rest of the night after the Bruins game into the Celtics game until 9 o'clock. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. I'm Joe Murray. I'm out.